Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom's back and welcome back to the episode of Top Drives. Now, last week I released a video where I reviewed a video of my own from 4 years ago where I talked about the cars that I wanted the most. And you know, obviously like 4 years later, I reviewed the video to see if I've achieved those cars. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing now. I'm basically gonna go through every single brand and tell you the car that I want the most. But this time it'll be a little bit of a twist to shake it up from the 4 years ago. And then obviously maybe in 4 years time, if Top Drives is still a thing, then I'll be reviewing this video of me reviewing a series that was built from another episode from me reviewing the same series from 4 years ago. Anyway, the twist that I'm doing is this. In the last time I did a video like this, when I didn't want a car from the brand, I just said that I didn't want the car from the brand, and I just, you know, skipped over the brand. The issue is, there are a lot of brands in Top Drives where I actually do not want a car. So, for those, I would go to those brands, and then I'll tell you the car that I want the least. So, technically, it's like a car that I want the most from brands that I like or want, and then cars that I want the least from brands that I do not like or care about. So let's begin with AC. The car I wanted the most was actually the Cobra. I got that already and I still have it stock. I don't really want it that bad, but I guess I kind of wanted it because it was the best epic. It was like the best thing that I could upgrade easily. The ACs that I would want the least would be the legendaries. Honestly, they're RQ80 and they're just the bottom of the pile. I just don't need them in my garage. They look good. I love them in real life, but like in the game, that's like one of the last things I want to see from a ceramic pack opening. Acura, I don't want anything. I guess if it came to what I would want the least, it would probably have to be the TL or the MDX. Actually, I'm going to say the TL. I have a little bit of history with the MDX. I used to, well, not, but my family used to own one, so I actually kind of like the car. But yeah, the TL, I got nothing around against that. Like, yeah, that would probably be the one I want the least. It would be fused material at the end of the day, but it would be really disappointing to see that from an epic pack, especially, you know, the series thing, the seasons thing, whatever it is, you know, those epic packs that you get with the flags. Yeah, I do not want to see that. Alpha Romeo is next, and the Alpha that I want the most would be the TZ3 Corsa. As always, I'm going for cars that I like the most, and I'm going for feeling over anything else. Always heart over the brain. Anyway, the TZ3 is the one that I want the most, but obviously, like, you know, the real obvious answer, I think a lot of people would say the Coloni. Like, they want the Coloni. And yeah, I do want the Coloni, don't get me wrong. It's a saloon, and it's ridiculously good. But I do like the TZ3 Corsa. It does look really, really, really sexy. So, yeah, I want the Alpha the most, the TZ3. AMC, yeah, I do want the Rebel. I've been waiting for the Rebel. I don't know why it has taken this long for the Rebel to come out. American Frontier was at the end of 2020. Here we are almost 3 years later, and it's still not given out. I've never had a single one. Now, moving on to the Apollos, the one I want the most is the Enrage, just because of its name. Literally Enrage. It's just edgy like that. Arash, the one I want the most would be the Farbout. I mean, it's not like the best of the best anymore. There are better dragsters now, but it used to be the best of the best. I think it held that title for maybe 8 months or so. I still want it though. It's really, really strong. Wouldn't mind having it in my garage. Moving on to Ariel, I don't want anything. So I guess the thing I want the least would be, yeah, I wish listed it for a reason, guys. Did not want that. Aston Martin, self-explanatory, very, very, very self-explanatory. The Superleggera is the car that I want the most. Audi, I mean, this one is just full of cars that I do not want. I could say I just don't want the entire freaking brand. There's nothing I want. There's absolutely nothing I want. The only Audi that I actually wanted would have been the Quattro S1. Yes, I know the R18 is out there, but I'd rather just go ahead and win the 919. I mean, don't get me wrong. If this comes out as a prize car, I'm definitely going to compete for it. But for me to say that, oh, I want this, I love the car, it's a bit of a far cry. So the Audi that I would want the least would definitely be the Audi A8. Probably one of the most useless standard tire cars in the entire game. Austin, it's a bit of a conundrum. I have every single one, so I guess the one I wanted the most has stayed the same. The Healy 3000 from the 4-year-old video. BAC, again, yeah, the one I wanted the most was the Mono. That's done. Bentley. Ooh, Bentley's an interesting one. I actually do want a Bentley. I think a lot of people might have said, oh, Blossom, you're just gonna say like, oh, what's the Bentley you want the least? No, to be honest, I've kind of wanted the Flying Spur for quite some time. Main reason is I'm a saloon collector, but also it's 4-wheel drive, but the real kicker is that it's medium, and a lot of 4-wheel drive Bentleys are not medium, but this one's medium, so it's a little bit different that way. Yeah, honestly, I do want that. So I would be happy to see that if I ever unpacked it. BMV, obviously the one I want the most is the M8 GTE. It is one of my most wanted prize cars, and you know how like Hutch is like, you know, zooming out of every photo to make every card look nicer, and surprisingly so. You can tell an older car from a newer car, as in like German Renaissance to Black Forest, right? Like German Renaissance, the pictures are really big and in your face. Black Forest, they're more zoomed out and there's more space in between, and it's just a lot nicer to see the cars, and I do prefer that format, but I do hope for the M8 GTE that they just keep it this way, you know, to honor the meme, you know what I mean? Moving on to Brabham, I guess the one that I want the most would be the prize car. It's more like what I need. It's not like I don't want them. It's not like I hate the brand. It's just, you know, they're pretty cool. Bristol is next. I mean, I've wanted the Fighter T for a long time, and I was really gutted to not win the Fighter T when it came out in the, what was it? It was a Cheel GT series. That's what it was. Yeah, really painful. I really wanted this one. It's really good. Basically like a better version of the Tuscan. It's like a better Ford GT90 and everything. Like it's ridiculous. So yeah, I do want that. Bufori is next. Pretty self-explanatory. The BMS R2 looks like a pretty good slick tire car. Basically just a slightly weaker version of the Gena G40. Is it G40 or G90? I can't remember. Bugatti is next. I'll be completely honest. I'm going to talk about the one that I want the least. That's the EB110. Like I've promised this for a long time, and a part of me actually kind of wants this to happen because I want to prove it to you. For the longest time, I've always said that if I ever unpack this car in a pack opening, I would sell it immediately. If I ever unpack this car, period, I would sell it immediately. I hate this car. I really do. I just do not like how it looks. Why does the grill look like a butthole? I don't know why. I don't like it at all. But yeah, the thing is hideous. Absolutely hideous. Do not want that. I mean, there was a time where I would say that the Chiron is my most wanted, Bugatti, blah, blah, blah. But like the Chiron doesn't really bring value anymore, you know? Like I'd rather just go with a Regera or a Rimac. Buick is next. Again, the only Buick I'm lacking is actually a car that I can unpack. I just don't really care about it. I actually have every other Buick fully upgraded. I should just focus and finish off Buick for crying out loud. Don't really want anything from that though. Cadillac is next, and the Cadillac that I want the most is the CTS-V. So hopefully that will come back one day. It might end up being an epic. Caterham, there isn't anything that I want. I guess the one that I want the least is the one that I've been selling over and over and over and over and over since the campaign. Ironically, I have this Max on my second account on Gawoms. Remember Gawoms, guys? Let me know down in the comments below if you remember Gawoms. But yeah, it's the only one I don't have here. I just don't need it. It's like the Caterham with like the least handling. It's the only Caterham that doesn't handle. So yeah, I don't want that. Chevrolet. I mean, I got my dream Chevrolet, dude. This was the one I want the most. The 011LE. Any other Chevrolets that I'm really looking for? The answer honestly is no. So I'm just gonna go for the one that I want the least, which would be the HHR, because it's literally just a PT Cruiser. Some people find it cool and quirky, but I just don't think it's all that. The Capos, look, I'm being realistic here. Obviously, I want the Capos, but at the same time, like I said, I'm being realistic here. The Capos are never coming out. The Capos are just never coming out. They've been in the game since 2018, dude. They're never coming out. That's never happening, dude. So yeah, I'll just talk about the ones I want the least because I have the Chevrolet that I want the most. Chrysler is next. The Chrysler that I probably want the least would be this thing. So if there ever came a day where I collected every single rare in the game, the Eco Voyager would be one of the last cars that I would want to collect, and I would be maxing it with gritted teeth. Next up, Citroen. I mean, dude, there's nothing I want here. Nothing I want. I guess the one that I want the least, it'll be boring to just go for the lower ranks, so I'll go for something higher. It would be the Metropolis. I would not want the Metropolis. It is like the epic version of that Audi that we just talked about. The Damaso, the one that I want the most, kind of ironically, is the Pantera Group 4. Very ironically, not even kind of very. I've ignored this car for about 6 months straight when they were distributing it as a prize car, and I don't know if I'll ever get a chance at bringing it back. I feel like it might be on a rotational basis, so after the Ford, the Pantera might come back. I just thought that the prize car, the legendary prize car for the next rotation would have been something better than this, so I saved up and I didn't go for the Pantera so early. But yeah, so ironically, this is the one that I kind of want the most. I mean, it saves a lot. That means I don't really want a lot of Damasos if I could wait 6 months and not get the Damaso that I want the most. DMC, when are they going to give out the DeLorean, huh? I guess for, I think the only time I can see it being fitting would be Silver Screen 3 coming back for the Tri-Series or the Trifecta or the Trilogy. Dodge is next. Ah, damn. Should I say what's the Dodge I want the most? Because at the moment I tell you what is the Dodge I want the most, it will, I promise you, it will be the last Dodge that I ever get. Like, I know the odds of me getting these Dodges are already really low, but the one that I want the most, if I tell you right now, I promise you it will be the one that I get last. Look, let's put it to the test, right? The one that I want the most is the Super Stock. I don't think that's much of a surprise. I've wanted this car literally since American Frontier. If you watch my American Frontier video, when American Frontier came out 3 years ago, I was disappointed that year that they didn't include the Super Stock, because the Super Stock came out that year, right? So yeah, that's the one I want the least. So just watch. The odds of me getting an epic Dodge that I want is low, but I promise you, I'll be getting the prize cars first. I'll be getting the Hellcat first, the Charger. I'll be getting the Viper first, and I will get the Super Stock last. This will be the next wide body, even though they all kind of feel like wide bodies already. Donkavort is next. The one I want the least would be the Audi, because it's Audi. And then after that, DS, the one I want the least, I guess, is the Servolt. Don't really need it in my life. There's so many like 99 handling epics now. Eagle. I mean, I have everything. The one that I wanted the most would have been the Talon TSI, mainly because it had the coolest photo. That was about it. Like the lights. Where were we? Fiat is next. The Fiat that I want the least. Yeah, I will make it controversial. I'll go with the Mia Fiore Evolution, because again, like, it would be really boring if it's like the Fiat one that I wanted the least would be something down in the ranks. So I guess it would be that. I kind of like the Dallara. I think the Dallara is actually kind of cool. I feel like if it had a better photo, I would actually keep it around. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool car. So yeah, I'll go with the other one. Didn't really want that. I kind of had that. I think I fused it away once. Ford is next. The Ford that I want the most would be Cobra Jet. I would say tied against the Cobra Jet and the Group B, because the Group B handles ridiculously well for an off-road tire car as well. So like I do want that in my life. It would be one of these two. I want those two. And then followed, it would be the Geo. Geo, what would be interesting? What would I want the most from Geo? I'm joking, guys. I don't want anything. I guess the one I want the least would be the Metro. I just don't like it. I just don't like the photo. Ginetta comes next. The Ginetta that I want the most is nothing. So I'll talk about what I want the least. And the Ginetta that I want the least would probably be the G55, just being a very lackluster RQ80. The Geo Tolo, again, there's only one, so that. GMC, I mean, the only GMC that I don't have is the Acadia Denali, and I actually don't want it, so that's the GMC that I want the least. Unpacked it many times, and I've fused it away many times. Hennessy, I want the most. Yes, the Venom F5. I'm going to go hard on that price card, dude. I really want that. Next up on the list, we have Holden. The Holden that I want the most would be the green. I would like both the greens. I have the green Ute. I would like the green Saloon. After Holden, we've got Honda. The Honda, again, I got every single one. I guess you could say that the Honda that I wanted the most would have been the NSXR. It would have been the same answer as 4 years ago. But if it went down to one that I didn't want, I mean, the Ridgeline is a meme. I kind of like unpacking the Ridgeline. I mean, I would sell it. I mean, I would fuse it away. But like, I kind of get joy from unpacking the Ridgeline. The Ridgeline is just a meme. It's been a meme on the channel. So I guess one that would just really like make me sad if I ever unpacked it. I don't know, man. Just Pilot. Sure. And I'm moving from Honda is Hudson. Yes, I want the Hornet because Doc Hudson. Hummer is next. I have every single one. I guess the one I wanted the most would have been the H3 Dakar. It's cool and it's red, and I like cars that are red. I like anything that's red. Hyundai. When it comes to Hyundais, I want the most. The one that we just missed. Yeah, definitely the one that we just missed. Like, I really want the i20. Like I said, I was one test bull car off. Really want that car, dude. I really want it. Hopefully it comes back, but I don't think it'll be soon. In terms of non-prize cars, it will be the Envision 74. Probably one of the only few electric cars that I would actually really like. The Infinities, the one that I want the least. Oh, yeah, you know what? For the meme, the Q60, sure. Fuse it away once, I'll fuse it again. Jaguar, the one that I want the most, Race the Beast would approve, is the XJ220S TWR. I think a lot of people might have been surprised. They might have thought that I was going to say the XJR9 because I did get 11th in that Tri-Series back when 11 meant tier 2 in the Tri-Series, and back when tier 2 actually meant that you didn't win the car. I won it, but I kind of won it for like ego purposes. Like I didn't win it the first time, so I want to redeem myself. But in terms of a car that I would just genuinely be happy with, that I kind of really want in my garage, it would go to the XJ220S. It's a really cool car. Now moving on from Jaguar Koenigsegg, the Koenigsegg that I want the most would be the Regera. I know some people out there with 4 of them. I just don't know how that works, but I would like the Regera. I think it's about time. I always get the key cars after a Tri-Series where it was key, and so maybe now, maybe soon, it will be the time of the Regera. KTM, the KTM that I want the least would be the Expo GT, because there's no KTM that I want. Lamborghini, the Lamborghini that I would want the most would actually be the Veneno. Again, I think it was a GT series, right? Was it a GT series to the Veneno? Or was it the Christmas challenge? It was something around Christmas time when this was given out, and I just didn't have the hand for it. I actually want the car. It's cool. It's been given out. I don't see it often, but I love that photo. So chances are if they change the photo of that, I probably won't want it anymore because I like it because it's red. Lancia, the Lancia that I would want the most would be also the car that I've opted from choosing, the Delta S4. I had every chance in the world to actually get this, but I wanted one car more, and it was the SCG. So obviously I went for the SCG. Land Rover, the one that I want the most would be the SVR. I just think it's cool. The 21 Savage car, if you know, you know. Lincoln, I mean, the black label is cool. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's a good car. I mean, 85 handling when you max it out is really meh, but it's cool. I like it. I'll take it. I'm an American collector at the end of the day. Lotus, the Lotus that I would want the most would be the 311 430. That thing is sexy, man. Moving on, Maserati, the car that I want the least. I could say Birdcage. Not Birdcage, so it's not even called Birdcage. 250F, I could say that for the meme. You know what though? Like, the MC12 is actually really cool. Like, I wouldn't mind like having that. So I would switch this from what I want the least to what I want the most. Yeah, it would be the MC12. I had many chances to get that too, but obviously like I was gonna get the other cars first. I think the other 2 options were the Porsche Dakar as well as the Porsche Carrera GT, which I both got, but I would choose that over the other option, which is the Cadillac CN. Don't want that. Mazda, the Mazda that I want the most would be the RT24P. Guys, I mean, it's very obvious. It's red. That's it. McLaren, the McLaren that I would like the most would be the 720S Coupe. I love the car in real life. I think it's one of the coolest. I still think that it has one of the coolest lights. I just like the concept of it. Like, it's really, really cool. It looks really organic. And usually I'm a sucker for like boxy architecture, like blocky, boxy stuff. But something about the McLaren light, just really good looking. Mercedes-Benz is next. And the Mercedes-Benz that I want the most would have stayed the same from the video from 4 years ago. The SLS AMG Black Series. I would like that in my collection. Mercury comes next. I mean, there really isn't a Mercury that I do not want. I guess the only, yeah, I guess it would be the Comet. It's the only one that I've been like ignoring, I guess. In terms of like Mercuries that I really wanted the most that I already have, oh no, it would be the Cougar. Yeah, it would definitely be the Cougar. The Cougar is the one that I definitely wanted the most. I still wish it had a better photo than that. I mean, it was worse, but I just wish it had a better photo than that. MG is next. The MG that I wanted the most was the Metro. I have that already. I guess the one that I want the least would be the MGC because it has a really terrible photo. No Sam would approve, maybe. Like the fact that it has a bad photo. Minis. Ooh, the Mini that I would want the least would be this one right here. The Cooper S. Yellow on yellow. You know me, man. I freaking hate the color yellow. Mitsubishi, the Mitsubishi that I would like the most would be probably the Lancer. You know, it's the best handling one. It's your second best option after not winning the Hyundai i20, so that would be pretty cool. Morgan, the Morgan that I would want the least obviously is the Aero 8 GT3. It would be like, dude, like honestly the first one would mean the least of the worst because like kind of like I can't fuse it away as a prize of 3 epics. It would just be sitting there, you know, like I would just sell it, whatever. Nissan is next. This stays the same as the video from 4 years ago, dude. The GTR Nismo, honestly. Like I said, the Celsonic, I would have wanted that the most, but I already have it. So yeah, the GTR Nismo for sure is still the Nismo, the Nissan that I want the most. Oldsmobile is next. There isn't really an Oldsmobile that I want, so I guess the one that I want the least Again, nothing too interesting to even talk about. So I guess I'll just highlight the Oldsmobile that I wanted the most, which I guess would have been the Cutlass. So yeah, we got that. Congratulations to me, I guess. Bugatti, the Bugatti I want the most. I mean, this I think has stayed the same for a very long time. It would be the Zonda Cinque Roadster. Now I know in that video 4 years ago I was talking about the Huayra. That was just a blatant lie. I'm pretty sure that was because it was the best Bugatti in the game at the time. But that isn't the case. The Bugatti that I've always wanted the most has been the Cinque Roadster. Until today, hopefully I'll get it one day. It's not even the best legendary by any case. It's just really freaking cool. I'm gonna say though, a close second would be the Barchetta. Freaking sick. I'm pretty sure there's only 2 of these in the world, right? And one is owned by Horatio himself. I don't know why that isn't a prize car. In terms of Pujo that I want the most, Onyx. I mean, that last Tri-Series where I didn't win the prize car, I mean, I already knew that the Onyx was good, but that last Tri-Series kind of showed me how freaking good the Onyx actually was. Plymouth is next. The one I want the most is the Superbird. I already have the Superbird. There isn't a Plymouth that I don't want, to be honest. I've got every single one for a reason. Same thing with Pontiac, honestly. There isn't a Pontiac that I really do not want. The Pontiac that I want the most would be the Trans Am 20th anniversary or the Firebird, one or the other, or the GTO, one of those 3. I would say joint 3, man. Those are my favorites. Porsche. I mean, for the longest time, man, it's been that GT2. It's been that ever so elusive GT2 that I've not been getting, that I've not been able to get for about 5 years. Now that that chapter is finally done and finally closed, what freaking Porsche do I want the most now? I mean, yes, everyone is screaming at the 919. Don't get me wrong. I want it. And I think it's the Porsche that I need the most. But it isn't the Porsche that I want the most. It's just the Porsche that I need the most. The Porsche that I want the most, honestly, isn't in the game. It's the brand new 992 GT3 RS Special Edition. You know, the one that pays homage to the 996 model. But that isn't in the game. So if I had to go down and choose, it would be the 992 911 GT3 right before the RS. So yeah, I love this car and I love the photo. I would be happy to take that. It's not the best legendary, but that is the Porsche that I want the most. Ram, I guess the Ram that I want the most was the 1500. Yeah. Renault is next. There isn't really a Renault I want. And basically there's no cool Renault to say that I don't want either, because all the high RQ stuff I already have. So I guess the Renault I want the least would be the Clio V6, because it's one of my most hated cars on the planet. Now moving on, I know some people think it's quirky, mid-engine, blah blah blah. I don't like how it looks. It gives me nightmares. I've said this many times. It actually gives me nightmares. Rezvani, I guess the one that I want the most would be the X, even though I didn't get it. But then again, like, there's no Rezvani that I do not want for me to say, oh, there's a Rezvani that I want the least. But there isn't a Rezvani that I really want for me to say that there's a Rezvani I want the most. I'm kind of just indifferent about everything. Rimac, yeah, the Nevera would be cool. That would be cool. The best Rimac in the game, one of the best cars in the game. A Rover, I don't really want anything. The last thing I would probably get would be like the 400 maybe. The roof that I would like the most would be the Turbo, mainly because it has that 996 feel. It has fried egg headlights, so that's it. Moving on is Celine. The Celine that I would like the most would actually be the Celine S7. I've roasted the car in the past, but I've also complimented the car in the past. A lot of people tend to underestimate it. It has terrible MRI. Don't get me wrong. It's not good, but it's a pretty good 83. Like, if you compare it to other 83s, I've done it on the channel before, it is one of the best 83s in the game. I know it's not saying much, but I don't mind having one of the best 83s in the game. Moving on to Saturn. Again, I guess the one I want the least is the one I don't have. You know me, man. I freaking hate commons. I'm not going to collect them, even if they're American. SCG, yeah, I mean, I wanted that the most for the longest time. That's done and dusted. I don't want a single smart. We can skip that, right? Like, you won't get mad if I don't tell you the smart that I want the least. Spiker is next. The Spiker that I would like the most would be the C8T. It's really good. It's also nightmare fuel, so that'll be useful going into the future. Now, after that would be Subaru. The Subaru that I would like the most would be the Impreza Cosworth. Not because I want it, but because I need it. Same thing with Ultima. I guess the Ultima that I would like the most would be the Ultima Evolution Coupe. Not because I want it, but because I think it would be nice to own. It would be a great car for my, British collection. I totally skipped over Suzuki and TVR. My bad. Suzuki that I want the least, probably the XL7, because this has been a car that I've just been, shoving to to the side for years on end now. I mean, Suzuki was releasing the game in 2017. Back in the day, I'm not sure if you guys remember, this car was actually an ultra rare. I have no care for it. Maybe if it got a better photo, I might care for it a little bit more. TBR I want the most would be the Typhon. I've been wanting this car for a very, very long time, to be honest. Now would be a good time to bring it back. Volkswagen. What is the Volkswagen that I want the least? I mean, to be fair, the one I want the most is the Bike Speak. Like, I hate the brand, but the one I want the most is the Bike Speak. I think the one that I would want the least would probably be the Beetle, the Beetle RSI. This is like the last super rare that I'll ever have. No! What am I talking about? I totally forgot about this car, actually, because I've actually not unpacked it in like so long that I've completely forgot about it. Yeah, the Atlas, guys. The Atlas, the meme, how could I forget? Yeah, the RSI would be second. The Atlas is the last super rare. Okay, luckily, I did not completely forget about it, because the moment I was talking about this car and the moment I said it's the last super rare I ever wanted to collect, the first thing my brain told me was, dude, the Atlas exists. I forgot about that. I mean, it's a good thing, I guess. From all my 1 million openings, I'm not unpacked an Atlas in a long time. Hope to never see it again, though. Volvo. The Volvo I want the most would be the C30 Polestar. W Motors, again, there are only two. I guess like the one I want the most is the Lycan Hypersport. It's a car that I'll never use, but I love the photo. Really, really cool photo. And moving on, that Zenus is the last one. The one that I want the least would be the Zenus E10S. I got no use for that, dude. I got no use for that at all. To be honest though, I'm looking back at the list, right? I'm just like looking at all the cars that I want the most, and I'm kind of like, wow, I actually don't really want the cars that I want the most. And that's a good thing, because the cars that I truly want the most, I've already collected. Like, an example would be Ford, right? Like, Ford, I'm saying, yeah, the Cobra Jet, I want the Cobra Jet. But the Ford that I really wanted the most would have been, like, the GT40, which I already have, or, like, the Mustang GT4, which I already have, so that's kind of blessed, right? And then, like, Porsche, right? The one that won the most is the GT2, which I already have, so that's kind of blessed as well. So, come on, man, there are ups and downs to everything. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. That's every car that I want or did not want from every single brand in Top Drives. Let me know down in the comments below if you like my lists, or if you think I'm completely wrong and the cars that I hate are cars that you love. Clio V6. But anyway, hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna stay safe, wash your hands. I'm Blossoming out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville Atlantic. Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks.